Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 26th of April 2023. Let's start with our session. Which particular institution launched the State of the World Population Report? So this report was released by United Nations Population Fund recently. And according to this report, India is now the most populous country in the world because we have surpassed the China's population number, right? So this report was from United Nations Population Fund. Answer would be UNFPA. Next is Miguel Diaz-Canel, who was seen in the news recently, is the president of which particular country? So recently he became the first non-Castro leader in the country Cuba to be re-elected as a president. And he won a second 5-year term in a parliamentary vote that had him as the sole candidate. And he took over the reins in 2018 as Cuba's first civilian leader after around 60 years of hegemony by the Castro brothers. Fine. Here only thing relevant is who is the new president of the country, Cuba? Answer would be Miguel Diaz-Canel. Next is, which union ministry has developed the National Climate Vulnerability Index? So this index was developed by the Department of Science and Technology, and it is used by the Indian government to estimate the impact of the heat waves. Okay. So a new study has revealed that more than 90% of the population is at risk of heat waves, and India has been underestimating the impact of heat waves on its development. Fine. So this index has been developed by Ministry of Science and Technology. Now if you talk about the coalition of coastal cities to combat marine litter, recently it was launched by the Delhi-based non-profit Center for Science and Environment. Basically, it is a coalition of the coastal cities that will combat the marine litter pollution across India. And of the 460 million tons of global plastic production, nearly 353 metric tons come back as plastic waste. Okay, and 8 empty means 2.26% of which is leaked into the marine ecosystem. So simply you can be asked that which institution has launched the coalition of coastal cities to combat marine pollution? Answer would be Center for Science and Environment. Okay. Next is, which country has launched the 1 billion meals endowment campaign? So this campaign was launched by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, who is the vice president and the prime minister of the country, UAE, and ruler of Dubai. So purpose was to establish the Ramzan Sustainable Food Aid Endowment Fund and provide a food safety net for the marginalized populations in the countries who struggle with the food insecurity, right? So this is the country, UAE, that has launched the 1 billion meals endowment campaign. Now you have to tell me which among the following countries have decided to provide $1 billion financial support to the country, Pakistan. Do let me know in the comment section. Now, also recently, Union Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has approved a proposal to bring in industry-friendly reforms that are related to authority holding sealed particulars, which is responsible for holding of sealed particulars and patterns along with the supply of certified copies of drawings and the specifications in respect of the defense related item, right? So simply you can be asked that authority holding sealed particulars is associated with which particular ministry? So answer would be Ministry of Defense. Now next is, what is the name of the legal status that grants specific right and responsibilities to the same-sex couples? This is called as civil union, and it refers to the legal status that allows the same-sex couples specific right and responsibilities normally conferred upon married couples. And these civil unions would be accompanied by the rights like inheritance rights, employment benefits to the spouses, which are generally conferred upon the married couples. So why it was in news? Because recently a 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court, which was headed by the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, began hearing a batch of petitions seeking the legal recognition of the same-sex marriage. Okay. Also, don't forget that D.Y. Chandrachud is the 50th number of Chief Justice of India. Fine. So this status is called as civil union. Now, also recently, the government of India has notified Animal Birth Control Rules 2023 under the Prevention of Cruelty to Animal Act 1960. And this notification is released by superseding the Animal Birth Control Dog Rules 2001. Basically, the new rules require the respective local authorities, municipalities and municipal corporations and panchayat to carry out the sterilization and immunization of stray dogs by addressing to the issues regarding to the prevention of cruelty to the animals. Fine. So you can be asked that Animal Birth Control Rules 2023 is notified by the Government of India under which particular act? So that would be Prevention of Cruelty to Animal Act 1960. Next is, what is this RPSC which was seen in the news recently? This is NASA's old defunct satellite which plummeted into Earth's atmosphere and disintegrated over the Saharan desert recently. And this probe was launched in February 2002, and probe spent total 16 years in studying the rush of highly energetic particles that were ejected from the sun. Okay, RPSC is basically the NASA's defunct satellite. Now, can you tell me what is this Ningalu eclipse? Basically, it is a hybrid solar eclipse in which the eclipse will transit from an annular eclipse to a total eclipse in certain regions of the world and again transit back to an annular eclipse. Basically, this solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes between the earth and the sun. Thereby, it obscures the view of the sun from a small part of the earth. And as we know that there are 4 types of solar eclipses, which are these: total, partial, hybrid and annular. So you can be asked that what is the name for the hybrid solar eclipse which will transit from an annular eclipse to a total eclipse. So the name of that eclipse is Ningalu eclipse. Next is, which institution has released the Global Food Policy Report 2023? So this report has been released by the International Food Policy Research Institute, and according to the report, there is an increased need for the investment beyond short term to build the food systems that are actually more resilient and equitable. So this International Food Policy Research Institute was established in the year 1975 and the headquarters lies in Washington, D.C. Basically, it provides research-based policy solutions to sustainably reduce poverty and end hunger. Fine. So this report has been released by International Food Policy Research Institute. Now, scientists from which particular institution have recently identified the electromagnetic ion cyclotron waves? So the scientists from Indian Antarctic Station, Maitri, have recently identified and studied the characteristics of electromagnetic ion cyclotron waves, which are a form of the plasma waves. Okay, so these waves are said to play an important role in precipitation of the killer electrons, which are hazardous to our space-borne technology and the instrument. Right? So these are Indian Antarctic Station researchers. Next is, Hun is a cultural festival celebrated in which Indian state? So this festival is an annual cultural festival which is celebrated in the state of Manipur, and it is celebrated by the Thadus community of Manipur to mark the arrival of the new year according to the community, and it is a time for the community to offer the prayers for a prosperous year ahead. And this year's festival was inaugurated in the state by the Chief Minister of Manipur, who's that? Mr. N. Biren Singh. Okay, so Hun is a cultural festival and it is celebrated in the state of Manipur. Next is, in which state is the Rongali festival celebrated? This is actually a 4-day festival which showcases ethnical diversity, creativity and entrepreneurship, and it was held in Guwahati in the state of Assam. And this year marks the 7th edition of the festival, and it was held from 20th to 23rd of April. Okay, and the festival aims to promote the unique culture of Assam through a series of events and activities. Right? So Rongali is a festival that is celebrated in the state of Assam. Next is, Olkiluoto 3 nuclear reactor is located in which particular country? So this nuclear reactor lies in the country Finland, and it is the Europe's largest nuclear reactor. Its construction began 18 years ago, and recently it has commenced its power production. Basically, it is designed to last for at least 60 years, and it is expected to boost the energy security in this region. Also, OL3 would play a crucial role in power price stabilization and the green energy transition there in the country Finland. Okay, so this nuclear reactor belongs to the country Finland. You have to tell me who is the current Prime Minister of Finland. Do let me know in the comment section. And now the last question says, Rockwell B1 Lancer is a fighter aircraft of which particular country? So this is a fighter aircraft of the country US, and also it is called as the Bone, and it is a supersonic variable sweep wing heavy bomber aircraft. And recently it has participated in the exercise COP India 2023, which is a bilateral air exercise between Indian Air Force and the US Air Force, right? So this Rockwell B1 Lancer is a fighter aircraft of the country US. Now you have to tell me, Ajay Warrior is the exercise between which two countries? Do let me know in the comment section. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. And now let's start with our revision session, in which we are doing the revision current affairs for the month of March, and this is part 5 in this series. So today we'll be doing the questions from question number 61 up to question number 75. Okay. First question says, which country has proposed to create International Big Cat Alliance? This is India. India has recently proposed the creation of a new global alliance called as International Big Cat Alliance. Why? To protect 7 major big cats, which include the tiger, lion, cheetah, etc. So this alliance will be open to 97 countries and organizations who are interested in protecting these animals. Also, India has committed to provide funding of $100 million for over 5 years to support this particular alliance. A recent report has found that increasing global temperatures could result in more occurrences of which particular phenomena? So answer would be hot lightning strikes. Okay. So a new research paper states that increasing global temperature could result in more occurrences of the hot lightning strikes around the world. The inaugural edition of the Naval Commanders Conference 2023 is being organized aboard which particular ship? This is INS Vikrant. INS Vikrant is an aircraft carrier currently in use by the Indian Navy, and it is the first carrier to be built indigenously in India and was built by the Cochin Shipyard Limited in the state of Kerala. Okay, so this inaugural edition of the Naval Commanders Conference is being organized aboard INS Vikrant. Hola Mohalla is a famous festival celebrated in which religion? This is a Sikh festival and it is celebrated for 3 days in the month of March, usually a day after the Hindu festival Holi. So this is a famous festival of Sikhism. Which Union Ministry is associated with the endorsements know-how guideline? Answer would be Ministry of Consumer Affairs. These are actually a set of guidelines released by the Department of Consumer Affairs under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, and the guidelines are intended for the celebrities, influencers, and the virtual influencers who endorse the product or services on social media platforms. And the main purpose of the guideline is to ensure that endorsers do not deceive their audiences and comply with the Consumer Protection Act. Okay. Next is Fringex 2-3 is the first ever joint military exercise between India and which other country? So this is the first ever joint military exercise between India and the French Army, and it is scheduled to be held in the state of Kerala. Already it has been happened now, and India is represented by the Indian Army troops based in Thiruvananthapuram, and France is represented by the French 6th Light Armored Brigade. Only thing here relevant is Fringex is the military exercise between India and France. Which city is the host of the 5th Asian India Business Summit in 2023? So 5th Asian India Business Summit was held in Kuala Lumpur this year. And this summit is a part of Asian India Year of Friendship, and it was organized with assistance from the Indian government. Megatropics 1 satellite was jointly developed by India and which other country? So Indian Space Agency ISRO is conducting a controlled re-entry of a decommissioned Indo-French satellite named as Megatropics 1 that has been jointly developed to study the tropical weather and climate. So this satellite was launched in the year 2011 and it exceeded its intended operational lifespan until 2021, right? So your correct answer would be France. What is the name given to the final full moon of the winter season? This is known as warm moon. Okay, and it was visible on 6th and 7th of March in the year 2023. Which country has introduced a concept known as the kill web in response to the escalating nuclear threat? So South Korea military has introduced a concept known as the kill web in response to the increasing nuclear threat from the country North Korea. So basic aim is to employ a multi-layered integrated system that incorporates the cyber operations, electronic warfare and other type of tactics. Next is Kiladi Museum was inaugurated in which Indian state? So this was inaugurated by Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, and this museum showcases the life of ancient Tamils during the Sangam age. Okay. Which institution launched the Har Payment Digital Mission? This is Reserve Bank of India, and it has been launched as a part of its efforts to make every Indian a user of digital payment. And this initiative was launched during the Digital Payment Awareness Week and aim is to reinforce the ease and the convenience of digital payment while also onboarding the new users. Selhu Tonuo Cruz made history by becoming the first woman cabinet minister of which Indian state? So Nagaland's first woman minister assumed offices on Women's Day occasion, and she made history by becoming Nagaland's first woman minister, and she represented the National Democratic Progressive Party. Which institution introduced the global greenhouse gas monitoring infrastructure? Answer would be World Meteorological Organization, and aim is to provide standardized and real-time tracking of the greenhouse gases. So this new platform integrates space-based and surface-based observing systems to improve the measurement of the planet warming pollution and inform the policy decisions. Which regulatory body released the principle-based framework for cloud adoption guideline? This is SEBI. SEBI has released a new set of guidelines to ensure the safe usage of cloud services by the registered entities and the cloud service providers in the securities industry. So it provides instruction on the governance, risk and compliance, etc. Fine. So these are the next 15 questions from the month of March, and tomorrow we'll be taking it ahead from question number 76 up to question number 90. Tomorrow it would be part 6 in this series. Okay. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture Do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nusrat Sana signing off.